Today, I'll be taking you on a boat ride to a dark and forbidden place. We will pass dark mountain spires and luscious forests to a restricted, infamous canyon with a scary and ominous history. I'm Julien, a student from Bremen High School, and I will be telling you the story of Headless Canyon. And please be careful, or you might not make it out alive. News you can use. This is Bravescast. The legend of Headless Canyon begins with two brothers. Frank and Willie McLoyd journeyed to the Nahanni Range in Canada in 1904. With primitive gear on a quest for wealth and gold, they traversed hundreds of miles by train, boat, and foot in extremely cold temperatures. They came back home with gold in hand, but they weren't fully satisfied. They made a second expedition in 1905, traveled back down that river, and set up camp. But this time, they never returned. Nothing was heard from Frank and Willie until their brother came looking for them in 1908. When he found their camp on the river's edge, he didn't find his brothers, just two skeletons. Their heads had been severed. One of them laid on the ground, his hand reaching towards his gun. The other looked as if he had leaped out of bed in a rush, blankets in disarray. No one knows what happened to the McLoyd brothers. No one knows what happened to their heads. A little less than a decade after the McLoyd brothers' bodies were discovered, in 1917, Martin Jorgensen met a similar fate to the McLoyds. He had found gold in the area and had sent out a message that he had struck it rich. Poole Field, one of Martin's colleagues, came down to the river to see what he had found. But all that was there was Jorgensen's cabin burned to the ground. Jorgensen himself had been shot, and it seemed to be from a fair distance away. And all that remained of Jorgensen was a headless skeleton and the burned down cabin that he had built. And there was no trace of his gold. Jorgensen and the two brothers were not the only ones who met this fate. But this one is a bit of an outlier. Most of the others who died in the Headless Canyon area have been found, and their deaths can be dismissed as murder or an accident. However, Annie Lefert, a niece of Mrs. Field, had quite a mysterious death. While on a hunting trip with the Fields in 1926, she disappeared into the forest. Months later, a native named Big Charlie told how he saw her climbing a hill almost entirely naked. Concluding that the devil had invaded her thoughts, he refused to follow or try to help. Some say that this was a mental case, but with a place shrouded in mystery, known by the natives as an area filled with evil spirits, maybe an evil spirit had gotten to her. What we do know is, her bones are still in the vast mountain range. Over time, many have tried to rationalize and explain these mysterious deaths and disappearances. And these three stories aren't even the brink of the mysterious disappearances in the canyon, just some of the first. Some say that these were attacks by headhunters and gold robbers looking to take what the valiant explorers had found, and some also say that there are evil spirits that inhabit that land. But if there's one thing for sure, according to one of the natives, men vanish in that country, and down the river, they say it's a good country to keep clear of. So it's best that we take their ominous advice. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Michael Julien from Bremen High School, and this was the story of Headless Canyon. Tune in next time for another dose of mystery.